A trip to the rolling hills of Champaign County, Ohio, outside of the small town of North Lewisburg. Turn down a couple of back roads and soon you'll find yourself among some of the most beautiful pastures, highest quality cows, and hardest working people in the world.
I'm Nathan Thomas.
I'm Jenny Thomas.
And you're here at Triple-T Holsteins. We started milking cows in 2006. That was the same year Jenny and I got married. We farm here with my dad and my brother, my father John, my brother Andy.
For the small herd at Triple-T Holsteins, what it might lack in quantity, it more than makes up for in quality. With the farm having had a hand in breeding, owning, or developing over 200 All-American and All-Canadian nominations, among many, many more accolades.
We only milk 35 registered dairy cattle, but our main focus has been our genetics and our cow families. In the show ring, we're very much into presenting our cattle in the show rings across the country.
And we also we have sales every year and market our cattle through them. And yeah, our main focus, I guess, is showing cows and also marketing cattle and genetics.
Dairy farming, no easy task. Taking a passion to do it day in and day out. The Thomases' path to where they are today has its roots in working at what they love.
I mean, I grew up on my family farm up about 2 hours from here, but Nathan didn't grow up on a family farm. We kind of joke around that this is the 4-H project that went awry, because he started with a grade calf, showing in 4-H, and kind of asked a lot of questions and was very persistent in trying to be better.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to work hard, and if you really want something, you'll figure out a way to get it. So I'm a firm believer in that. I always said if I was going to milk cows, I want to milk good cows.
And to milk good cows they have. One in particular has left quite the mark in the history books of Triple-T, as well as the Holstein breed.
We had a cow named Dundee Page. She was 96 points, and she did a lot for us. I don't know how many All-American nominations she's had, but multiple ones. We've sold a lot of dollars worth of cattle. A lot of the barns here are built because of her, I guess. And we've also been successful and had other cows champions at World Dairy Expo and so forth that we've sold or owned or still own over the years.
A cow family that's, she presented herself well, but then all the daughters, there's been several 95-point daughters out of her, and the offspring continue to do well, and they've done well worldwide. We've marketed a lot of embryos overseas, and it's fun to see those animals do well for other people in other countries.
Though their cows are fit for show, that doesn't mean there's any less work of a regular dairy farm. The unique position of Triple-T has also given them a unique market for their milk.
Our day-to-day, like a lot of hands-on here, like our cows are kind of, I guess you'd call pampered a little bit. They get washed and they don't lay in much manure, and the pens are pretty clean and that sort of thing. But we still like them to be productive, and that aspect too. Like they got to live together, be tough. I mean, we want them to produce just like any other dairy would. We're on a grass load through DFA, and it actually goes to Daisy up by Wooster, and then I believe it gets made into sour cream and goes to Chipotle.
We happen to qualify with our management style and what we do here, qualify for that particular load of milk to go to that plant, and it's all about cow care for us, and so we haven't had to make any alterations, I guess, in the way we do things in order to qualify for that.
And just like any dairy farming, there are challenges.
For us being a small farm, I guess one of the main things would be is getting somebody to pick our milk up. That honestly will be a big issue. We pay a fortune to get our milk hauled because we're a smaller farm, and I think that in the end could be the thing that puts us out of business if there is something that does.
That's a point. Like, we've tried to think of other ways of what we could do long term if that would ever come about, so that our kids could take it over if they choose to.
Family is the motivation for Nathan and Jenny, with opening options for their 3 children, Colton, Kendall, and Cameron, at top of mind.
We just want to keep working hard and give our kids the opportunity if they want.
And I mean, I guess for a while we'll do this, keep doing this to you got to give your kids a chance to decide if this is something they want to do. I guess in 10, 12 years, if they decide this isn't for them, then we'll probably reevaluate things and see what our exit plan is, I guess.
The two stay quite busy beyond the farm as well. Nathan making a name for himself on the international stage as a dairy show judge, and Jenny making her mark in the cattle photography world.
In the beginning, it wasn't something that I set a goal out, hey, I want to judge the Holsteins at Madison or nothing like that, but it ended up happening, and that was for sure one of the highlights of my judging career, was judging there, and it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so look forward to hopefully doing some more down the road.
Nathan's got a great eye for cattle, and you know, we've had that's how we kind of started with our sales. You know, he'd like to get out and go look at cattle, and one of our best friends who recently passed, Michael Heath, we started that sales series, the Best of Triple-T and Heath, and for many years we've had great sales. Yep. And Nathan and Michael, I think that's helped them, you know, be sharp and be on the road and look at cattle. And also you come home and you reevaluate your own, and that's been a huge asset for our farm. Is he's kind of tough on what things are around here. So maybe I like to keep something around longer than he does at times, more than often probably. Yeah. But he gets out and sees more cattle a lot. So I mean, that's been beneficial for the farm and our breeding program.
For sure.
Between 3-a-day feedings, 4:30 milkings, rinsing cows, walking show pigs, and oh yeah, coaching sports, the Thomas family says at the end of the day, there is a place for the small family farm way of life.
I guess the only thing I can think of, and that something that always comes to mind for me, is, you know, yeah, we're small. We've found our niche. There's some smaller farms that, you know, process their own milk. There's some small farms that have found other ways to make an income and stay and, you know, relevant in the industry that keeps growing and growing in cow numbers. But, you know, our niche has been our genetics and how we do in the show ring and our cow care, and that's how we've been able to stay in business by doing that and stay small, relatively small, very small compared to the average herd size. But, you know, it's been something that's worked for us. Does it work for everybody? Probably not, but you got to figure out how to make it work for yourself. And I think that the small farm, there's a place for it. And there's more and more people that are wanting to know where their food comes from, want to see cows, taking a little bit more interest in where their food comes from and see cows getting cared for.
Right.
And with perspectives like that of Jenny and Nathan Thomas, it's hard to imagine a world without the small farm. From the pastures of Triple-T Holsteins, I'm Joel Penhorwood for the Ohio AgNet.